was really a colliding of two passions. I had run a newspaper and had done a lot of media work along with marketing. Another thing I had was a radio show. So basically being in front of a mic and having weekly deadlines like that was really comfortable for me. And then after I had my daughter, I became really passionate about birth and physiological birth and the person giving birth, supporting them. So then I became a doula, a childbirth educator, a postpartum educator, and fast forward from then to 2014, things were just right for me to create a podcast that brought these two things together. And it's been now almost 8 years. In November, it'll be 8 years that I have been podcasting on a weekly basis, which is bananas to say.
I started podcasting because I have a platform for women called Dear Young Queen, which started actually as my blog about my life and what was going on and what was happening. And naturally the world started evolving. As the world started evolving, I wanted to take those stories off the page and give them some light, and have some of those conversations that I was having with my girlfriends that prompted my blog, and bring those conversations to the air.
I started podcasting to expand my reach from being a therapist, having worked with thousands of people. I wanted to really offer something of value where people could tune in at their convenience to learn tips and tricks and covering topics about emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, and well-being. And that's how All Things Therapy was birthed.
Podcasting has been an interesting journey. I am a big researcher, so I did tons of research before I started this. The search for the perfect mic was so intense. The hunt for the perfect lights, for the perfect camera, like everything was so intense. And I never really thought about the option that you could record an entire episode with a guest and forget to hit the record button. Other parts of the journey are so incredible, getting to know people, getting the feedback from listeners, getting to just know that you could connect with so many people around the world. I'm a nerd for my stats, right? So like I'm in there looking at locations, looking at were they on their computer? What time of day was it? And I love just learning about the audience and the people that I connect with. So that journey has been, while it has tons of little speed bumps, the ride is so fun and exciting and very rewarding.
My journey has been interesting. I didn't have any expectations. I didn't really know in 2016 what this podcasting experience would lead to. And I just really found a passion in getting on the mic and connecting listeners with guests of all kinds of mind, body, and spirit genres, and the doors that it's opened for me to speak with influencers that have a following of millions of people and really touching lives. It's been exponential how much I've grown as a person and what a gift podcasting is. And even the weekly episodes, I do weekly episodes, over 320 weekly episodes since 2016. Even if I don't feel like doing a show, I know that I feel better afterwards. And it's a commitment to just show up week after week that has really changed my life for the better. And listeners and viewers as well, I believe.
Because I had a background in marketing and radio and media in general, I knew that it was important to start getting the audience used to the fact that there would be monetization. So I started from episode 1 and I did affiliate marketing. So I would say this episode is brought to you by blah, blah, blah. And then shortly thereafter, I had people reach out to me, which I know it's not, so a lot of people don't do that, right? And that was important for me to get the listener used to knowing that there was going to be a sponsor of some type.
So I would say we launched our podcast 10/10/2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Well, the pandemic was long, but in the big lockdown year in 2020, we were still locked down in our houses. And I probably was monetizing by 2021. So what's that, like 16, 20 weeks maybe? Before, and we had weekly episodes. So about 20 plus episodes before we started monetizing.
I started monetizing, I believe, in 2019, if I remember correctly. So after about 3 years, I didn't even know, Alexandra, that monetizing was an option. That was like an extra silver lining that I can actually earn income from my podcast, which has just been delightful. And I intend for more and more of my income to come from my show, and since I love it so much.
So the first campaign I ever booked with OSSA was Baby Trend, and they were promoting two things. They were promoting a stroller and a car seat that they had just, sort of come out with. So we did those, which was fun. And then after that, it's been Fahardi and Kindred Bravely as well, which I love.
First campaign we ever booked was, I think, Sambucol. It was an elderberry zinc combo vitamin situation. And obviously with the pandemic going on and everything that was everybody looking for the cure to beat COVID or to keep COVID away, it was like kind of a great pairing.
I have to say, OSSA has been instrumental in my podcasting growth. OSSA is awesome and wonderful. And it was at the end of 2019 that we connected. And my first campaign, I remember, was with beekeepers because I still use their throat spray. It's an organic throat spray based on this really beautiful honey that's pure, and it has properties to heal sore throats and prevent colds. And I still use it myself. The people that OSSA has connected me with are so high end, and it's just been game changing for me financially and my audience growth and reach to be a part of OSSA as well as an investor.
So my favorite campaign, I really enjoy, like, all of the campaigns have something that really speaks to me and that I really appreciate, that fit with the audience. But one of the ones that I've enjoyed the most is Kindred Bravely, because I think their clothes are fantastic, magnificent. And I think that's been a really good partnership because they've come back and we've done 2 campaigns with them. They've repeated campaigns. So that always, is exciting.
The most favorite campaign we booked with you was the Murad campaign, actually. Murad was great because at the time, Ulta brand was already a partner on the show. They were committed to us for like 20 some odd weeks. And so when you guys came with a skincare brand, it really just like rounded out the picture of like what we were trying to present and give to our guests. Not only that, it came with tons of great goodies, products that we got to try. And also it was fun because we got to use our socials for this campaign also. And we're really big fans of having ad campaigns that have like online or social components. It's great to, read the ad or maybe have the link in bio for our listener to purchase. But it's even easier when we can like link in bio them or ask them to swipe up. So it was really cool to know that you guys were moving towards that direction where it was going to get off of just flat ad reads and turning into some social media interaction and campaigns.
My very favorite so far is the campaign I'm in right now with Blissoma Botanicals. I love these products. I have been ordering them for friends as gifts, as well as buying their makeup line, which none of this was part of the campaign. This is my money that I choose to order Blissoma's products because they are so luscious and awesome. And my skin has gotten better. My skin's flawless, basically, as a result of using their line of products. So I am in love with Blissoma.
It's really hard with podcasting because it's such a one-way medium. to get that specific feedback. But I think it helps to have a lot of touch points, right? So it requires more than one listening, I find. And so when campaigns are built around that structure, then you get a little bit more feedback on how it's doing.
Interesting. I feel like the times that I know that our listeners are really responding with our ads are when we really actually run into our friends and family who either have the products or have mentioned the products. So it's like, I was on the airplane and I noticed that XYZ sparkling water was on the airplane. And then it tells me, not only are they listening, they heard the ad. And so, while I don't have direct feedback on how I think they're enjoying the ads that we choose, I do know that we're running into our own close-knit people that are using the products that we're talking about. So it somehow must be responding.
Listeners reach out to ask, like, Lisa, do you really like this product? You sound excited about it. I get emails from friends and strangers about that. So I feel like it's been a really positive response, that people are listening to the ads that you really get behind. And that's important to me, to really like what I'm suggesting to my audience, that it's a good fit for my show. And every sponsor through OSSA has been Faherty, this really high-end clothing brand. And it's just, I really love sharing these options with my listeners and viewers.
When I started, there wasn't a community like OSSA. And I think I would have benefited highly from being able to just drop in the circle and ask questions or see other people's questions, and build that connection and relationship. So I think if I was starting new, that would be a really helpful space.
So what's great now is that you guys have this amazing app. And that's how everybody's getting to. But what was really cool about when the company and the brand started, or I participated early on, was that we used to have really cool interactions with like kind of the account managers that were booking the campaigns. At the time for me, I think we started with, I think her name was Lindsay. And it was really cool to know that they were kind of like these women on the ground scrapping to like pull these deals together, and then really just another woman looking at another woman saying like, hey, you want to make some money together. And so they helped me monetize really by just punching me in my inbox, right? Like throwing money at me. And now I think it's really cool that it's evolved to the app where you guys can kind of just push it to us all. And women can feel it at large, the opportunity to make some money.
OSSA has been so supportive, especially besides the ads and how that enhances my financial life. The boot camp that I attended in Santa Monica earlier this year of 2022 was, again, game-changing, working with other female podcasters in a really pressure cooker environment, having to produce a full show in a 24-hour timeline, and the way I had to raise myself up to meet these expectations, it's changed my show. As a result, I definitely do a headliner every week. It's changed the way I put my show out there, really making sure every episode weekly is hashtagged and just promoted in a way. I saw the importance of that, of really taking advantage of every tool that we have through social media, especially to get our episodes out and grow our show. And it's just been amazing. OSSA's investment in me, it's like such a win-win. And I'm really so happy and proud to be a part of OSSA and grateful. OSSA has helped me monetize through the really wonderful sponsors that they have sent my way and the advertisers they have connected me with. Again, really high quality products, as well as really great templates to use the information. I get more than enough information to be able to create the way that I want to use my voice to share the products with my audience. So responsive. OSSA is so responsive in their email turnaround time. So whenever I have a question, I feel really supported to get what I need to do the very best ad that I can put out there for who I'm representing.
I'd say it is a great community for female identifying podcasters to sort of make connections, have ways of monetizing all their hard work, and also learn about what's going on with the industry without having to go to 10 different places. It's really a supportive community. I think that's the huge benefit of OSSA. Because podcasting also can be a very lonely thing to do as a creator if it's just you and depending how big your team is. So being able to connect with other podcasters that are in your same space and really forge relationships and ask questions is, I think, is a huge value that OSSA provides.
I would recommend you because when you surround yourself with other women who are just like you, there's always a chance and opportunity for success. And I would want to give that gift to as many people as I possibly could.
I have, in fact, connected other female podcasters with OSSA through email introductions, sharing how awesome they are, how this is a way to grow your income, to grow your reach, to grow your skills as a podcaster with their continuing education that they offer us as female podcasters, and that our voice has value. They're OSSA's mission and tagline, in fact, and just how empowering it is to feel like this big and wonderful organization is behind you. It's amazing.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing I can say that I really love about monetizing with OSSA is that the campaigns tend to be long. So it's not just one ad that shows up, but they tend to be, in my experience, more like 5, 6, 7. I just got one for 17 ads. So that is peace of mind in that it takes up a big block of your inventory, so you don't have to worry about it. That is one of my favorite things about monetizing with OSSA. And the other one is that you guys pay on a monthly basis as soon or shortly after the campaign starts. So I don't have to wait 90 days or whenever the advertiser pays or all of that to start seeing some money for the work that I already did. So those two things I really appreciate.
It was hit and miss through using other platforms like AdvertiseCast, for example, and getting a campaign but not having a person to really connect with and ask questions. And OSSA affords this really personal connection where I have someone to reach out to and ask questions, and it just feels better. I feel more supported. It's less scary because as podcasters, I know we all want to do a good job, and it makes it easier when someone like OSSA is right there available to help and support versus having to Google articles like I was on my own prior to OSSA's involvement with All Things Therapy, having to figure out how to do ads and just kind of being out there on your own. It can feel a little scary, and it's great to have consistent income that OSSA provides through these advertising partnerships. Again, like women having more financial abundance is such a powerful way that we can change our world by investing in what's important to us and bringing our care and commitment and the way we view the world, I think, in a very balanced way is just beautiful.
To be able to do it, from my house. I love the portability of podcasting.
I am a girl's girl, girl power, girl gang kind of girl. And I love what the brand stands for. I love the collective of women. I love the community building behind it.
I really enjoy actually having met everyone in person, like Marla on down at the podcasting boot camp in Santa Monica, to put people with the names that I've been emailing and how friendly and just how invested OSSA is at making us successful so they can be successful, so our advertisers can be successful. It's such a model that's win-win, and I just love being a part of it. It's just exponentially been important financially, emotionally, spiritually, and in business and my life to have OSSA and I partnered. Just wonderful. I've been able to achieve, again, implementing new things each week with every episode I do, to tag them on social media, to have that support to grow my show, grow my following. They're so responsive and positive in even acknowledging that, a thank you, you're doing great. Just the praise can help. Podcasting can be so solitary, and to have OSSA just even giving positive feedback unexpectedly. Love this episode. You're doing great. It makes a world of difference emotionally to us as podcasters to get that feedback, to get that affirmation, because it helps us know, it helps me know I'm not alone just doing that. People are listening. This information is resonating. And that's what makes me do that. That is what makes me want to do what I do as a podcaster each and every week. It's a lot and where I am, 6 years, over 320 episodes. I have invested so much of myself in my podcast, and to have OSSA noticing, it just really helps that what I am doing, it does make a difference.
I think the word might be seen, even though it's a big network with lots and lots of podcasts. There is a true caring for each podcaster. And I think I've been connected to other marketing networks in the past where I really felt like, if campaigns came, they came or not. Like, they didn't care so much about me being part of it. And I think, and with OSSA, I do feel like there's a bigger connection.
If I could use one word to describe my experience with OSSA, it would be cha-ching.
If I were to describe my experience with OSSA in one word, it is amazing.